This is the Sabbath School lesson for the fourth quarter, 2021.
Lesson 5 from the series Present Truth in Deuteronomy is titled The Stranger in Your Gates. It's ready for teaching on October 30, and I'm Percy Harrold. Friday, October 29. Further thought. It is hard to imagine how even in the best of times, such as under David and Solomon, the people of Israel could have been so blessed by God and yet could have so oppressed the poor, the helpless, and the outcasts among them. As you read in Amos 5:11 and 12, therefore, because you tread down the poor and take grain taxes from him, though you have built houses of hewn stone, yet you shall not dwell in them. You have planted pleasant vineyards, but you shall not drink wine from them. For I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins, afflicting the just and taking bribes, diverting the poor from justice at the gate. And Isaiah 3 verse 14. The Lord will enter into judgment with the elders of his people and his princes. For you have eaten up the vineyard, the plunder of the poor is in your houses. And that brings us to our 3 discussion questions for this week. 1. Israel needed to remember that they had been strangers in Egypt, which was one reason they were to treat strangers and outcasts in Israel as they wished they had been treated when they were outcasts. How does this truth relate to the gospel, to the idea that through the blood of Jesus we have been freed from the slavery of sin? Why, and in what parallel ways, should what Jesus has done for us impact how we treat others, especially the helpless among us? 2. Think about it. We can worship on the right day and understand the truth about death, hell, the mark of the beast, and so forth. That's fine. But what does it all mean if we treat others nastily or oppress the weak among us or don't administer justice fairly when we need to judge a situation? Especially because of the truth that we have, why must we be extra careful not to think that somehow just knowing the truth in and of itself is all that God requires of us? Why is that a potentially dangerous trap for us? And question 3. What role should our faith have in helping us understand what is commonly referred to as human rights? Inside Story. Our mission story this week is titled Message Received, and it's by 𝐃𝐎𝐄 𝐍𝐎𝐄 is a devout Christian in South Korea. She yearned for God and wanted to know more about his word, so she joined a Bible study with friends but didn't understand the discussion. She soon stopped attending. Hae-sun usually drives a car, but one day she felt like taking the bus. As she waited at the bus stop in front of her house, she overheard 2 women talking enthusiastically. "Read this message," one woman said, holding out her cell phone. "Someone sends me a message every day, and I love them." "Really?" the other woman said. "Let me see." Hae-sun found herself drawn to the women. "Can I see it too?" she asked. She didn't usually talk to strangers, but she was curious. On the cell phone she read, "God is love is written upon every opening bud, upon every spire of springing grass. The lovely birds making the air vocal with their happy songs, the delicately tinted flowers in their perfection, perfuming the air, the lofty trees of the forest with their rich foliage of living green, all testify to the tender fatherly care of our God and to his desire to make his children happy." Steps to Christ, page 10. "Wow," Hae-sun thought, "this is what I need." She asked how she could receive the text messages. The woman with the cell phone promised to help. Soon she began receiving daily messages, and she expressed her gratitude by replying to each one. On Sundays, she texted back, "Have a great Lord's Day." After some time, at her texted request for more information, she received The Great Controversy and other books in the mail. She has stopped sending Sunday greetings, but continues to express joy over the messages and is reading the books that she has received. The text messages come from Lim Moyong Suk, a Seventh-day Adventist deaconess who sends Ellen White quotations daily to about 2,500 people, including leaders from other denominations. Moyong Suk is praying that Hyasun and others who read the messages will grow closer to Jesus. I don't know how many people read these messages and how the messages are making a difference in their lives, she said. I am just a sower, but I believe God will make the seed grow and reap its fruits. This mission story illustrates mission objective number 1 of the Seventh-day Adventist Church's I Will Go strategic plan, to revive the concept of worldwide mission and sacrifice for mission as a way of life involving not only pastors but every church member. Learn more at iwillgo2020.org. This quarter, your 13th Sabbath offering will support 2 mission projects in South Korea. This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. Sponsored by the Sabbath School Department and distributed through Hope Channel Australia, this podcast is also redistributed by Hope Channel Germany, Christian Record Services for the Blind, and It Is Written. It is also available on SoundCloud and through multiple podcast distributors, including Apple iTunes. Remember, God is always faithful.